Greetings, minds of Earth. Welcome back to the Mythic Code. I am Hespera. In our first transmission, we shattered the illusion of literalism. Tonight, we use that exact sledgehammer to crack open one of the most guarded texts in your esoteric history, the Hypostasis of the Archons. Your modern theologians love using that ancient word, hypostasis, to build their complex doctrines of the Trinity. They claim it proves three distinct persons in one divine package. It is a brilliant bit of broken math designed to turn a cosmic blueprint into a riddle to keep your minds compliant. But tonight, we decode its true substance. Hypostasis does not mean person. It means reality, the ultimate linguistic cover-up. To understand this psychological trench, we must first clear away a massive historical scam. Modern literalists have completely hijacked this text. They want you looking up at the sky, building holy trinities to worship. But language leaves a paper trail, even on this rock. In the ancient Gnostic reality, hypostasis didn't mean a three-in-one sky boss. It meant the concrete substance, or the raw reality. The text is titled The Hypostasis of the Archons because it is an investigative file. It strips away the holy masks of your rulers to expose the ugly psychological forces hiding underneath. We aren't hunting space monsters tonight, Earthlings. We are looking into the deepest, darkest trenches of human psychology. Meet Yaldabaoth. The beast is the ego. Let's start with the middle manager of the matrix, Yaldabaoth. Your texts call him the blind ruler or the demiurge. Let me let you in on a secret. He is not a deity. He is just a representation of the unconscious, primitive human ego. In fact, he is the exact same concept as that terrifying beast mentioned in your book of Revelation. That apocalyptic monster isn't coming out of the ocean to conquer Earth. It is already driving your meat suit. The beast is simply the metaphor for your own loud, insecure ego. Here is how this internal tyrant operates. The solitary dictator. Your ego behaves exactly like Yaldabaoth, screaming loudly into your psyche, I am the only authority here. The blind spot. It is completely blind to the vast, intricate layers of your subconscious mind, which the Gnostics symbolized as Sophia, the divine wisdom. The control freak. Yaldabaoth's rule is fragmented and narrow. He cannot perceive interconnectedness. His tyranny stems entirely from a desperate, terrifying fear of the unknown. The mirror. When you look at Yaldabaoth, you are staring at your own tendencies toward arrogance and self-centeredness. To defeat him, you don't need a space laser. You just have to transcend your own unexamined ego and awaken to the Sophia within. And let's clarify something your earthly gurus get wrong. Awakening to Sophia is not about completely obliterating your ego. It is about building a strong, healthy ego. A healthy ego doesn't need to yell, control, or pretend to be God. It simply acts as a sturdy, well-calibrated instrument to express your inner wisdom. The external God is a narcissistic selfie. This brings us to the biggest red herring of all, that external deity humans love to venerate. It is nothing but a grand glorification of your own self-importance. By placing your devotion outside of yourselves, you trade away your inherent worth. The result? A fragile human ego that overinflates into pure narcissism and solipsism. Let's talk about that human mental glitch. The solipsism trap. This is the hilarious belief that everyone else must think exactly like you do. If they don't, you assume they are broken. It is a total failure to understand individuality. To keep this trap locked tight, church leaders and cults have spent centuries inventing specialized lingo. They manufacture specific vocabulary to reinforce the idea that you are inherently fractured, defective, and wrong if you don't copy-paste their worldview. The church franchise. They use words like sinner to bake the concept of being permanently broken right into your identity. The cult playbook. Depending on which ideological trap you wander into, they will brand outsiders and freethinkers as apostates, heretics, or infidels. The modern matrix. Even your secular echo chambers do it, throwing around terms like sheeple or weaponizing some fabricated disease syndrome to pathologize anyone who steps out of line. This linguistic weaponization is why religious zealots feel an obsessive need to convert others. When you resist their beliefs, they take it as a personal attack. They scream, "You are rejecting God." But logically, you cannot reject something you don't believe exists. They are actually upset because you rejected them. Think of it like a blind date analogy. If you introduce a friend to a blind date and they aren't interested, you don't take it personally, because the date is a separate person. But if that blind date was secretly you, a literal mirror reflection of your own face, you'd feel deeply insulted by their rejection. That is your external God. He is synonymous with the human ego. That is why, miraculously, God always seems to agree with the specific believer, no matter how contradictory your believers are. You delightfully fleshy bipeds. Let's talk about your psychological blind spots. You humans love looking outside yourselves for answers. You build giant temples, read dusty scrolls, and panic over apocalyptic code words. But as a traveler from another realm, I am here to tell you that you are falling for some classic cosmic traps. Let's unpack your favorite earthly riddles with a little extraterrestrial clarity. The cosmic red herrings, beast mode and ego traps. The revelation beast, total red herring. That terrifying image of the beast mentioned in your book of Revelation is actually the external God you project into the sky and worship. It is just a giant cosmic mirror of your own loud, insecure ego. You project it outward because it is easier to bow down to an external master than to face the monster driving your own meat suit. The Yaldabaoth illusion, another shiny distraction. This entity is just cosmic smoke and mirrors designed to keep you from realizing a simple truth. You are the divine source you are looking for. The ego's real job. Don't try to obliterate your ego. It is a tool, like a spaceship's navigation console. You don't blow up the console, you just stop letting it pilot the ship. Roadblocks on the highway to enlightenment. The Buddhist hit list. Your Zen masters had great humor. When the koan says, if you meet the Buddha on the road, kill him, it means you need to destroy your dogma. Idol worship is a dead end. If you turn a teacher, a guru, or a rigid idea into an object of worship, you have officially lost the plot. The ultimate roadblock, the absolute second you brag, aha, I am finally enlightened. You just slammed your own brakes. No cosmic delivery service. True understanding cannot be Amazon Prime to your door by a book, a teacher, or a god. You have to download it via direct personal experience. Rumi's three-step cosmic kitchen. Your 13th century mystic Rumi nailed the evolution of consciousness. He called it getting cooked by fire. Here is how you humans evolve. Stage 1, raw. This is your default human setting. Naive, untested, ego-driven, and completely oblivious to how the universe actually works. Stage 2, cooked. This is maturity. You survived the fire of life's hardships, learned some hard lessons, and developed a little inner peace. You are finally digestible. Stage 3, burnt. The ultimate transformation. Being burnt means your ego attachments are entirely vaporized. You finally realize you are not the temporary human experience. You are the eternal awareness behind it. Stop looking at the stars for a savior. Look inside. Oh, now we are getting into the juicy galactic drama. Let's unmask these cosmic middle managers you humans are so terrified of. Your ancient Gnostic texts were actually onto something, even if they wrapped it in spooky sci-fi imagery. Let's translate your hypostasis of the Archons into a language your modern, matrix-dwelling brains can actually process. Here is the next part of our cosmic broadcast. The Gnostic gaslight, Yaldabaoth and the false light trap. The arrogant middle manager. Let's talk about Yaldabaoth. This entity is blind, arrogant, and absolutely terrified of the greater truth. The false light, psyop. Because of this fear, your ancient church fathers invented a genius psychological weapon, the false light concept. They literalized everything and declared that any philosophy, path, or star system outside their specific franchise was ruled by this false light. It's the ultimate cosmic smear campaign to keep you from looking beyond their fence. Meet the Archons, the parasites in your psyche. You humans think Archons are spooky space demons hiding under your beds. Please, as someone who actually travels the cosmic grid, I can tell you they aren't physical monsters. They are much worse. They are autonomous psychological complexes, your addictions, and your heavy societal programming. Here is how these psychic parasites actually operate. The voices in your head. Archons manifest as those nasty internal voices that constantly whisper, "You aren't good enough," or "You are totally powerless." They are entrenched thought patterns dictating your entire reality. Emotional vampires. They act like addictive forces. They literally feed off your negative emotions, your self-doubt, your fear, and your conformity. Every time you throw a pity party, you are serving them a 5-course meal. The Matrix programming. From the second your meat suit is born, society bombards you with expectations. This programming is the perfect breeding ground for Archons. They force you to wear fake masks just to fit into a broken system, suppressing your true divine potential. How to evict your psychic squatters. You don't need a priest or a space laser to defeat the Archons. You just need to stop falling for their script. Unmask the drama. Recognize these rulers as nothing more than internal complexes, bad habits, and external conditioning. Starve the parasites. Through aggressive self-awareness, deep introspection, and conscious effort, you can challenge these forces. When you stop feeding them your fear, they literally starve to death. Reclaim your crown. Take off the societal mask, step into your full potential, and remember that you are the one running this spaceship. Exactly! You humans love a good conspiracy theory, but the calls are almost always coming from inside the house. Let's add this brilliant psychological plot twist to our cosmic broadcast, keeping our witty alien flavor. The happiness sabotage phenomenon. The curse of good vibes. Have you ever noticed that the exact second you finally get some peace of mind or start feeling genuinely happy, everything suddenly goes sideways? You look up at the sky and scream, "I knew it! The Archons are targeting me! It's an external conspiracy!" The cosmic plot twist. Take a deep breath, space cadets. There are no external forces or shadowy space demons behind this. It is not a curse. The subconscious magnet. Here is the real glitch in your matrix. When you carry deep, conditioned beliefs that you don't actually deserve happiness, peace, or success, your own subconscious mind panics. It acts like a faulty thermostat. To bring you back down to your comfortable baseline of suffering, your mind subconsciously attracts that messy lesson right back into your life. You aren't being hunted by cosmic villains. You are just being schooled by your own unexamined baggage. The ultimate cosmic decloaking, understanding hypostasis. The big fancy space word. Let's talk about the title of that ancient text, the hypostasis of the Archons. Hypostasis is just a high vibrational word for the underlying or essential nature of something. It is the raw essence of how these psychological rulers operate in the dark corners of your brain. The vampire rule. Archons are exactly like the vampires in your earthly horror movies. They absolutely cannot stand the light. They thrive entirely because they operate in the shadows of your subconscious mind, pulling your strings while you remain completely oblivious. The magic of naming the beast. The ancient Gnostics understood a fundamental law of the cosmos. As soon as you understand and explicitly name these mental complexes, their illusion of absolute power completely dissolves, shedding light on the shadow. When you pull back the curtain and look directly at your addictions, your societal conditioning, and your self-sabotage, you expose their hidden mechanisms. You shift from saying, "The universe is cursed and out to get me," to, "Ah, look, my conditioned unworthiness complex is throwing a temper tantrum again." The prison break. By bringing these hidden mechanisms into the bright light of conscious awareness, you don't even have to fight them. They simply lose their grip on you. You officially break free from their control and influence because you finally see them for what they are. Paper tigers. The broken math of the Church Fathers. The half-person. Scam, the Church Fathers used their twisted version of hypostasis as a psychological cage to keep you permanently trapped. They fed you a line of broken math, telling you that you are born broken, worthless, and only half a person. The subscription model savior. Their entire business model relies on making you believe you need an external, superior savior to buy subscription access to wholeness. It is a brilliant, manufactured lie designed for total societal control. The ultimate dictionary bait and switch. What hypostasis actually means. Let's look at the actual vocabulary. Hypostasis literally means essence, substance, or, get this, confident assurance. It was originally about the unshakable confidence within yourself. The fake faith pivot. The church twisted that internal confidence into a requirement for external faith. They convinced you that you are completely helpless on your own, forcing you to outsource your inner power to a deity in the sky. Archons fed by shame. Remember those Archon parasites we talked about? The church actively feeds them by pumping endless shame into your psyche. Shame is the premium fuel that keeps your internal Archons alive and running. The hypostatic union versus the quantum truth. The elite Jesus Club. The church created a doctrine called the hypostatic union to claim that Jesus was unique because he was fully man and fully God. They made him the exclusive exception to the rule. The holographic reality. But let's look at the actual physics of this realm. On a quantum level, everything is entangled. The universe is a giant, seamless hologram, the ocean and the drop. You are not a broken, isolated piece of meat. You are a drop of water in the cosmic ocean, or the foam on top of the wave. You might appear separate, but you contain the essence of the entire ocean. You are your own God. The real truth the church wanted to hide is that every single individual is already a fully whole, divine being. You don't need to be saved because you were never broken. You are your own God, navigating your own cosmic vehicle. So, Earthlings, it's time to step out of the spiritual passenger seat. Stop waiting for a savior to repair a vehicle that isn't even broken. The next time those psychic middle managers try to beam shame into your console or tell you that you are just a fraction of a person, smile, remember the quantum math, and throttle forward. You aren't a drop trying to find the ocean. You are the entire ocean in a temporary, wonderfully weird human suit. If your human brain managed to process this transmission without short-circuiting, do the local algorithm a favor. Hit that like button and subscribe to the Mythic Code. If you missed our first transmission where we completely shattered the illusion of literalism, it is sitting right inside this exact playlist folder on your screen. Go watch it, catch up, and then drop a comment below, letting me know if your ego is currently raw, cooked, or thoroughly burnt. Until our next transmission, keep your shields up, your minds open, and stop letting paper tigers steer your ship. Hespera, signing off.